What do you think you're doing?
Hey, take it easy.
Can't you see we're practicing? Oh, this one looks like it needs teaching a lesson.
Back off, Korax.
Oh, you want to get involved too? This little brat is about to get a beating.
Pick on someone your own size. Besides, you should get back to training so you don't make a fool of yourself when you find yourself fighting Shani again. Or would you prefer me to disappoint our commander by telling her you spent your time bullying new recruits instead? Here, let me help you up. I suggest you choose your next opponent more wisely and find some other place to wander around aimlessly. Allow me to brush some of that dirt off you. I'm guessing you're new. Come with me. I'll make sure you stay out of trouble. No one is stupid enough to enter the training grounds when Korax and his gang of thugs are practicing. Minotaurs are hellishly difficult to reason with. You're lucky I was around. We used to be in the same company. I still have a way of getting through to him. You didn't need my help? Bold, but foolish too, eh? You must have had a death wish giving him the finger like that. I admire your courage, but you would have been in bad shape after he was done with you. Korax is one of the best fighters around. Besides Shani, of course. Him and his group usually lead the front in battle. He is unmatched in brute strength and pig-headedness. It's still a good thing he's on our side. You'd better stay clear of him for a while if you value your health. He'll have an eye on you now. I know there is no way you could have known. Truth is, he takes pleasure in bullying the new arrivals. Yes, we're all fighting for the same cause, but that doesn't mean we don't have internal rivalries that keep us on our guard. Why the red and blue banners everywhere? For training purposes, the whole camp is divided into two groups. Red Guard and Blue Guard. You're still wearing your grey tunic, that means you haven't been assigned yet. You'll need to show your worth at the trials tomorrow first. The teams practice against each other in various competitions, battles and tournaments. You need to understand that we don't hold back on our own. The veterans among us even practice with sharpened blades. The only difference is that here you might end up in the infirmary, whereas the real enemy will not stop until you are dead. Here you can still learn from your defeats and carry on living. I realize I haven't even introduced myself. My name is Thomas. I'm a group leader for the Blue Guard. Have been for some time now. My job is to train the new recruits in handling their weapons and helping them grow stronger in mind and body. I also specialize in training those among us with special magical abilities. Strange. I didn't see you arriving with all the other new recruits. The commander brought you in herself. Huh. She certainly hasn't done that in a very long time. Well, in that case, has no one given you the tour of the camp yet? High time someone showed you then. That way, you'll know what places to avoid in future. Follow me. On your left, that's where you'll go for food. It's actually quite alright. I happen to be in the good fortune of saving one of the cooks' life. He now always hooks me up with an extra portion when I need it. If I can give you some advice, never fight on an empty stomach. That large tent at the top of the hill? That belongs to Commander Sheridan. Generally a bad idea to go anywhere near there unannounced. She's a strict but fair leader. I'm guessing you already had the pleasure of meeting her then. It's her next in command, Lacan, you need to worry about. If you ever see a centaur with a long sword, golden shoulder plate, and red mane walking in your direction, you better keep your head down. He once ordered a whole company to move their tents a few steps to the side, just so he had a clear view of the training grounds from the comfort of his tent. Don't get me wrong, he is a skilled strategist, but he sometimes takes the saying moving mountains quite literally. Too bad he never has to lift a finger himself. Tents for the Red Guard are over there. Try not to stray too far until you are officially assigned. The same goes for the blue tents over there to your right. And another important thing. The commander values good hygiene among her troops, so you should always go to the bars just after training. It's a relaxing experience anyway. The bathing tent is built around a natural hot water spring. And before you ask, there are separate baths catered towards the needs of everyone in the camp. The centaurs favour being washed rather than bathed, and us humans prefer not to share the same pool with the Minotaur, even though quite a few of them are quite amiable, but, well, you just happen to meet the worst one. Just up ahead are the Blacksmiths. Every warrior is responsible to have their equipment battle ready. That means your blades are sharpened and your armor dent-free. Ask for Avery, the apprentice. He doesn't get trusted with a lot because he still needs to finish his training, but he shows a lot of promise. And you'll wait a lot less. The master blacksmiths have a long queue to the point that you might have to enter the battle defenseless before you get the back. Hey, let's climb the watchtower. You'll see the entire camp from there. Hold tight, don't look down. Oh, what a view, eh? Oh, I sometimes just come up here to breathe and take it all in. Oh, look, the gliders are out. They took the opportunity of the sudden good weather conditions for some fun. What are the gliders used for? Certainly not in battle. You can't do more than throw down a few rocks that are easily blocked with the shield. No, these are used to survey the land and keep a lookout for anyone approaching. It's also a rite of passage around here, unofficially, of course. Only a few dare to actually dive off the cliff, attached to a wooden frame and some fabric. But as you can see, some even do it as a pastime. The tricky thing isn't getting in the air, it's the landing you need to worry about. You need to partly free yourself of the harness in order to touch on the ground. Being able to reduce your speed is key. The more experienced go for a different landing. They dive straight down and pull up just before they hit the water. Then they come in with just enough momentum to likely land upright on their feet at the top of the cliff, ready to go again. It's the kind of thing where you can't make mistakes. You just have to be crazy enough to attempt it in the first place. Have I ever done it? Ah, yes, but no longer. You see, we got caught in a storm once. I barely got away with my life. My friend wasn't so fortunate. Whoa, get down! Careful, Max, I'll need my head tomorrow. What's that big stone just down by the rocks? That's where we remember all the ones we have lost. I sometimes go down there and look at all the names, trying to keep their memory alive. I'm sorry, I didn't bring you up here to wallow in sadness. Up here's also just a good spot if you ever need some space. Actually, you should get settled in your quarters. The trials start bright and early tomorrow. It will do you good to get enough sleep. Be careful on your way down. I'll go after you. So, here is your hammock. You'll be assigned a new place once you know what guard you're in. The lodgings there tend to be a bit more comfy. Well, as comfy as it gets in an army camp. Some tips for the first night. Put enough blankets underneath you since it does get quite cold at times. When you're packing up in the morning, make sure you left everything looking tidy. These are open tents. You can always see the mess. Also, I want to warn you in advance that you might have some idiots coming in here early in the morning and cutting the rope of your hammock, so you violently fall to the ground. I know from personal experience how painful that can be. It's a recurring prank that they play on the new recruits. I'll enchant yours too, so it will give them an immediate shock if they decide to cut it with a knife. If you hear a yell from someone at night, know they walked into my little trap. You look worried. Is it about the trials? Try not to worry too much about it. There's nothing you can really do to prepare yourself. I know that doesn't really help, but you'll be fine. I promise. If the commander chose you herself, then there must be something special about you anyway. I can sense it too. I'm sure you'll find your way around in no time. See you tomorrow. Who knows? You might even get assigned to me.